Adelaide Loris. This is for PSY 358, Adult Development and Aging with Corey Hunt. This is the generativity presentation. It's supporting the well-being of future generations. What is generativity? Generativity is supporting future generations by things like mentoring, raising children, teaching, helping in the community, coaching, and counseling. Erikson was the first one to have or introduce generativity. He believed that it began in middle adulthood from ages 40 to 65. For him, it was either caring for others or being stagnant. Those were the two options that you had between in your middle adulthood ages. And he believed that it was guiding the next generation. Logan's theory was built on Erikson's idea of generativity, but he believed that generativity was a cycle in life, meaning it didn't happen just between the ages of 40 and 65, that it continuously happened throughout the life, meaning it would happen in young adulthood, in middle adulthood, and then older adulthood as well. That means that there were multiple stages of being supportive in different ways, whether it was in young adulthood, helping in the community, middle adulthood, raising children, and then older adulthood, volunteering in church or within the community. McAdams' theory built on Erikson's theory, but it focused more on the importance of telling stories. And he also believed that identity was in shaping the future. An example of this I found in our local community. There is a high population of Mixteco. This particular culture does not have a written language, and so they depend on telling stories in order to pass on their values. And so I thought that was something that was really interesting, and it goes along with McAdams' theory. Culture shaping of generativity. So I chose 6 different culture shaping that happen within generativity. Gender roles, they have an impact on how a person gives back to the community. If I use myself as an example, I am a female and I am a mother. I am a mother because I am a female, and that is my way of giving back to my community. I had children and I am raising them to be good people. Religion determines the values that we choose to pass on to our next generation. Part of that, I think, also is teaching them what you believe, but then giving them the freedom to decide what they believe for themselves as well. Education provides the opportunity to teach and mentor students within a community, not just in the classroom setting, meaning not just with curriculum. This also is a social teaching, meaning students learn social cues. They learn behavior, appropriate and inappropriate behavior, like what is deemed appropriate or not appropriate within their group of students. So that's one way that we give back to students, is they learn not only within the classroom setting, meaning they learn problem solving, critical thinking, how to read, but they also learn how to interact with others. Traditions, they determine how values and stories will be passed on to the next generation. An example of this in our family, every Christmas we get a new Christmas ornament for each one of our children, and that Christmas ornament is specific for each child, whether it be for my son, we will get him a baseball that has his name and the year on it. Or if it's for my daughter, we will get, like a ballerina. When she was little, she had a little ballerina, and then one night before Christmas, after our Christmas tree is up, we'll go through and each one of them can place each of the ornaments that they've received since they were born, and they hang them on the tree, and we talk about memories, great memories. Another great memory, my father-in-law passed away, and so we get a Christmas ornament for him each year as well, and we think about him as we put him on the tree. And this is something that my family did for my siblings and I when I was younger, and so I'm hoping it's something that my children will pass on to their children as well. Community expectations determines how a person gives back, raising a family, having a career, or service to the community. And then socioeconomic status. Socioeconomic status can have an impact on how people are able to give back, how people are able to ensure the well-being of future generations. They may not have resources available to them, and that's something that can stunt the growth of a community, but it can also stunt generativity within a community. The Loyola generativity scale, my personal score was 41 out of 60. I think this is pretty high. I mean, it is kind of a subjective thing because you can choose either 0 up through 3, but I did answer as honest as I possibly could, considering all the factors that I have going on in my life right now. Some of the life experiences that I personally have, which led me to get this score. I am raising children. I am a community volunteer. I am a former PTA president. I work for the local county office of education. I am a drum circle facilitator. I plan mental health trainings for youth in our community. I'm a sound bath facilitator. I am a sports parent. I volunteer more than I should. Working on my bachelor's degree to help better myself so that my children understand the importance of education and that they strive to be their personal best as well. I'm a former sports youth director. I actually used to run all of the youth sports organizations within our community. And I am a former coach. I used to coach volleyball when my daughter played volleyball. So generative actions that I have, personality traits, I'm an overall positive and optimistic person. I'm kind, thoughtful, generous, open-minded, and compassionate. Some current activities that I have, I work for the local county office of education. I work in the comprehensive health and prevention program. The program that I work for focuses on the overall well-being and mental health of students throughout our county. We have 19 different districts within our county. An example of something that we do this last Thursday and Friday, we hosted over 500 students on our campus and held an all-day training over 2 days for these middle school students. We had an alumni panel of old wellness peers, well, not old, but experienced wellness peers that were able to answer questions for the students. We gave them 5 different breakout sessions to choose from where they can learn about grief and loss. They can learn about human trafficking. They can learn how to do a drum circle. They were given information about suicide prevention. And then also they were fed all day long, and it was a fun event where they got swag, and we just made it a really fun, positive experience, but they are also able to learn something to take back to their campus, and then as peers spread to their campus as well. I'm a coach, I'm active in our church, and most importantly, I'm a mom. And so I do consider that to be a very important job. It's my role to teach them and guide them and help them to be amazing people. And they are. Future career goal, I am, once I receive my bachelor's degree, I'm going to start my master's program for speech and language pathologist. The reason I chose this, when my son went to boot camp for the Marine Corps, I realized that this role as mom has an end date, and I didn't really want to be an administrative assistant for the rest of my life. My youngest son has a speech issue and has been receiving services since he was in transitional kindergarten. And so they changed my son's life. They gave us the opportunity to be able to communicate, for him to not be frustrated when he's talking to people, and I really want to be able to do that for another student and enable them to communicate with their family. So that's why I chose that. Thank you.